It looks like Ghanaians are also in love with Sharaf Mahama because he's been projecting the Ghanaian boxing space for quite some time now. And as much as there's so much positivity around the president's son, Sharaf Mahama, there's a bit of negative aspect to the matter. But today, we'll dissect everything and then we'll get the facts right. Guys, I want to start with Yao. Yao, Legacy Rise Sports, that's the company that Sharaf runs, had a big boxing bout last week Friday, and it was a very, very beautiful event. For somebody who grew up in Jamestown, I know how important boxing means to my people, and it was a very big event, very, very appreciated by the people of Jamestown, Gamashi, and its environs. But there's been a negative buzz to it, which is from Okatakyie Afrifa. What do you have to say about all these conversations that is coming up in our timelines?
All these conversations. There are conversations that would definitely arise because once you have public interest, people would discuss you. And this is one. First of all, I say kudos to Sharaf and Legacy, alongside the American Foundation, who organized the boxing bout, which saw Anthony Joshua being in town for it. Firstly, we need to also establish that I think Sharaf has been doing this for like few years now. I think for the past 2 to 3 years that I have seen in terms of, especially last year was prominent last year with a lot of bouts he did. He's not just into just boxing; he also does football too. So I even believe after the election there was even one that he held, which even had, I think the video them all were there to kind of grace the occasion. And I also like what he's doing with Tilapia. Which is Bukom Bakum's son, who he took to the UK to train. So kudos to him. So it's been established that he was doing it before his father came into power. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Okatakyie really touched on that aspect. I believe what he did was in reference to when the former president was in power. His children also did like endeavors. One was in Somunam, which is a high-end restaurant located in cantonments. And a lot of people came for the next of Jankroma. For opening a restaurant. And I think it's something similar. It's political. Why are you shaking your head? It's in terms of the conversation, where people see the children of presidents doing something and they try to use it for political points. Because at that period, it was political points. Because people say, oh, the ball land, they did this, they did that. Please, we are 6 months into power. I don't think Okujeto Ablakwa, who used to be the chief land surveyor, we've not seen the state claiming back the land. Or claiming the land was illegally bought. Once that is established, then we realize that the conversations were valid. But up to now, since they've not closed it down, I believe everything is in order so far. So these are conversations that some people would come up with and discuss and say, oh, where did Sharaf get his money from? Because most people do not know Sharaf. Me and you, we don't know Sharaf. Me and you, if you tell us how Sharaf gets his money, I don't think we can say it. You get it. But looking at his background, definitely his father is there, his uncle is there, he himself, I heard he was also a footballer for some time. So definitely he comes from an affluent family and definitely can get a startup capital to establish his business. So I see it as more of political gimmicks and conversations that happen. They are unfortunate. When it happened last year, we said it is unfortunate. This same thing is unfortunate. But he has been a pillar of the boxing industry from the time he started, and it is not because his father has become president. That is why he has the money to be able to do all this, because he's been doing it. And even with this, you saw he collaborated with the American Foundation. So it means there were two entities that came together to establish it. And I'm wishing him more success. Really great success, because I believe as a community we need more people to be investing in certain things. And if this young chap has dedicated his time to invest into boxing, which has seen more promoters fail, and give it a new boost of life, because these things he's done over the past year has added certain flavors to the boxing scene that we've not seen since the like of Bukom Banko and Aite Powers were fully in action. So it's a good thing, and I think we need to praise the young chap and push him and promote what he's doing to become bigger and better. This should be above politics.
True, I agree with you. Long John, first, what do you have to say about this? Conversations.
I think first of all, I want to say Okatakyie making that comparison was totally bogus, complete balderdash, and it had nothing to do with both parties. First of all, he was trying to make it look like it is wrong for us to actually criticize the erstwhile government daughter, which is Ekufuado's daughter, and then Sharaf. This is public knowledge, and this is simple logic. Between the two, who occupy the government position? Do you understand? Sharaf has never held a government position ever in his life since he was born. But he's been trying to add something profitable to his personal life as a businessman. You do understand? I don't think if that was the same thing with Ekufuado's daughter, we'll be having that conversation. But for Okatakyie to just raise it up and make it look like this is what this woman, this president's daughter did, and this is what this president's son is doing, they are not the same.
Okay.
The moment you hold public office, you are opening yourself up for accountability, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
And that was what his daughter was doing. So you can't compare the two. You understand? It is just like any other public official opening a restaurant or a flashy artifact.
Yeah.
The public have every right to question you, but you can't question Sharaf. The first question is, what public role is he playing in governance that you, the citizen, want to question him? He's just like you. You understand what I'm trying to say? So first of all, that conversation, that diabolical kind of politics shouldn't be in play.
All right.
Because first of all, we are trying to empower the youth. And when we see youth do things of this sort, we should, currently, boxing. What's the last time you heard of a good boxing match, if not Sharaf organizing it? And see the way he tries to bring people from different societal upbringing in one venue.
True.
Look at a whole despite sitting behind, trying to, coach how, the book, video now.
Very, very entertaining.
Yeah, you see, this is what we are looking for.
True.
He's trying to revive a sector of our industry that has been, should I say, completely dead? Yes. You understand? And even to the extent that today, his own father, who is the president, says he wish he could have expanded that Bokum Arena so he can take more people. Yeah. Because he has seen the love is coming back. Yeah. And that is what we are looking for. Young guys are doing things to actually revive the industry. You are talking about this. Okay. You understand? These are conversations we should accept. And besides, they are not the same situation. One is holding a public office, the other isn't holding a public office. Yeah. However is making the money, if the state deems it fit to scrutinize him, they have to do it. No, but I think he's a private man. Yeah. Unlike Ekufuado's daughter, who is a public official, who was holding a public office. So they have every right to question her. All right. You understand?
We want to talk about the ownership of the restaurant.
No, I think we need to establish certain things. First of all, like you mentioned Edwina.
Yes. She's actually the owner of the restaurant.
Did she hold any public
She didn't have any position. It was Jankoma that ran
the position. But was she not on the board?
No, she was never on the board.
So now here's the thing. And even with Jankoma, I think we even established on one of the episodes that her own father did not help her at the
set up the
CA with no financial support. So I think we need to establish that fact. And also, here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. People will talk. Last year we were here when the president's daughter went to do contribution at Kolebu. There was complaints from both sides say, hey, but you not do any work, you are doing contribution. Yes, last year happened.
I never heard it.
Well, maybe you didn't hear it, but on the street it was a conversation because people will talk, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Let's just encourage them to do what they are doing and let this be above politics, because sometimes we talk like politicians. They didn't have money before they came into politics.
They don't have a private life.
Sometimes you do like, they came and then they got money. Right. Some to have their money already. It's like saying, so Akufo-Addo did not have money before he became president. So Mahama doesn't have money before he became president. So we need to go above certain things because they are above politics.
And one thing we are forgetting is when it comes to Sharaf's events, there are huge sponsors on it. Yeah. And many people are forgetting that this guy the rank and file in society. Yeah. Obviously, maybe friends with people whose fathers are heading these big institutions.
You just even reminded me. Yeah. Otumfuo's son organized a summit.
Yeah, Mining Emotion.
Mining Emotion. What about that? Is it because it is Otumfuo, so you people can talk? You see, we have to be rational. That's why I say I don't want to even pamper what Okatakyie said. It's senseless. The youth
they are sensible youth who are learning, they are learning from their old block. They are learning from their parents. They are taking what their dad or their mothers have done before. So if they are taking from them, doesn't mean Brenno, he has to follow the same. If he has the means, he can organize what he has, so long as it is going to help society.
Yes, but Otumfuo is not a politician. So.
What are you saying? No, I'm only saying he is still very important to society.
But this conversation, the Kenyans are usually politically aligned.
It's almost the same because they all carry power.
Do you think they
all carry power?
Janko was NDC people complaining. This one is someone who is sympathetic to. And that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about political cards.
Yes, let's move above the politics.
And I'm saying it's almost the same because this
almost the same is not the same.
It's not the same.
Hold on, whether I like it or not.
Yes.
They are all holding power. Them all the control power.
Somebody is political power.
Please. Whether I like it or not, his father is the president.
Yes.
Last year, Jankoma's father was the president. They had power.
But what
I'm trying to say is, when the kids are doing something, we shouldn't use this conversation. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because if we are able to go silent on Otumfuo's son, we should be silent on these things because they are also growing.
Yeah, but you can't talk about Otumfuo's son. That's what I'm saying. It's not political.
What are you saying?
Yeah, because Otumfuo is not holding a political office.
What are you saying?
Yes.
What political office is you holding?
Yes, you can't touch on that matter. But of course, I want us to talk about the fact
telling me that
guys, let's talk about the fact
government, not political. Then is there a okay?
No, chieftaincy has nothing to do with your
government. Have you voted for Otumfuo?
Do you go to the ballot and queue and wait for Otumfuo? No. All right. Guys, let's talk about the boxes. I mean, my people in Jamestown are really upset. I mean, Joshua Clotte, who is a former world champion, held a discussion on TikTok Live where I was joined by Game Boy and other boxers, and they were really, really angry. They threw a lot of insult at Okatakyie, and they're like, Okatakyie shouldn't bring these things to the boxing fraternity.
They go beat them, man.
No, we can't support violence.
So here,
I say they go beat them, man.
So here's
the boxing we they talk about.
No, but
boxing what they
go punch people.
So me here's the thing. I understand where they come from, where their temper is coming from. It's understandable. So that one they be cool. I don't think they would go for it and do anything.
Yeah, of course.
But for them to that did the videos.
Yes.
These are prominent boxers who earned so much from their boxing career, but they failed to be able to even come together and also be able to have their own promotion. So this is a word of encouragement to them. If they truly believe Sharaf is the savior, Sharaf cannot do it alone.
Okay.
One man cannot do it. He needs support. So them too, with all the money and earnings they've earned from their career, they should also be able to develop something so that every single month there's an activity. Because now Sharaf can't do it. I don't think he'll do it next month.
Yeah,
you go relax. Yes, you go relax more than before you do another one. They need people, because the Bukom boxing arena needs to be consistently being used in order to be able to improve the boxing. So as boxers who have earned so much from their craft, they need to also invest so that when matters of this happen like this, they won't just be insulting, but they also show working.
All right, great. I think I must commend Sharaf Mahama and his entire team for this amazing work. For somebody who comes from that area, I know how important this means to the people there. And if not for Sharaf, I know a lot of boxers who would have found themselves doing nothing, sitting idle and all that. So God bless you and continue to do the things that you are doing. And I know a friend who Sharaf was actually employed, and he's a staff, and he's been very, very good to the guy. And I don't want to talk about how the guy got the job, but he's been very, very instrumental, and I love what I'm seeing. And the enthusiasm in Jamestown alone. You know, in this world, I learned there are very few cities that have produced, world champions, and Bukom is one of them. So we definitely have to hold our head high and support Sharaf Mahama. Let's forget about the politics, forget about the insult, and let's focus in pushing the young guy who is entrepreneur and pushing. Shout out to Azuma Nelson. I heard this interview. He spoke highly of Sharaf Mahama as well.